to another episode of Inside the Crosshairs, and I am Seth.
And I'm Jay, and today we're coming at you with a special episode. This is our Behind the Crosshairs.
Yeah, and this is one that we really haven't been looking forward to, but our world is in turmoil right now, and we're looking at here in our country of taking guns away, and we're looking at a country right now, the Ukraine, that they're having to hand guns out to their citizens because of the thing that we feel so strongly about here. What's going on over there is atrocious. There's not enough words to say how horrible it is when we're watching schools getting bombed and innocent people laying down in front of armored vehicles, and it's gonna bring me to tears, Jay.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's hard to watch, to see human life, being taken, and in such brutality, with the, I mean, man, how many schools has he hit? He's hit like 4 or 5?
At least 3 or 4 that I know of.
Yeah.
It's probably more now.
Yeah.
And directly targeting schools with children and homes and apartment buildings.
Yeah.
And
well, they're running over people with tanks. Did you see that clip?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we have certain, laws in the world for the rules of engagement in war. So things like that wouldn't happen. Like certain chemical weapons are banned and cluster bombs, and it seems like, that he, as in Putin, is not following any of the rules of engagement.
So the UN's talking about bringing him up on war crimes, but a little too late when you got people dying right now.
Well, and this is a sensitive subject. I know a lot of people don't probably understand the full history, but the Ukraine was essentially a part of the Soviet Union,
the USSR.
So, after the split, they voted to become sovereign and independent, and they've done that. So, Ukrainians are essentially, Russians that, so they're still families back and forth,
Yeah.
and
most of those people have folks
right
on both sides.
Yeah. So, with Russia and Ukraine, it's very sensitive because it's a lot of families, and it kind of feels like 2 brothers or 2 cousins fighting, and, I kind of want to stay back, because they all are family, and it's, a very sensitive subject. I do understand, both sides. I do. I don't respect the communistic side of Putin, but I do respect the knowledge he has and the strategic, his strategies with positioning as far as military and timing, but not his brutality. His brutality is a bit harsh, because a lot of people don't understand the United States, as far as like NATO goes and things of that nature, which a lot of folks know. We try to contain a lot of countries and surround them on their borders with military bases and
we're the world
weapons.
Police.
Correct. We are the world police. That's how we view ourselves. But you have to ask yourselves too, like, would you, like with the Cuban Missile Crisis, when we found out Russia had nukes in Cuba, we didn't take too kind of that, and we went down there and took care of that quite swiftly. So, trying to bring Ukraine into NATO or the European Union would then enable us to be able to position ourselves right there in the belly of Russia, and of course he doesn't like that too much. So I'm going to let viewers decide what they think about that. But same deal with Taiwan, and we can say just like Korea, we went fighting. That's why we got North Korea and South Korea now. So we keep a watchdog there, if you will, and so. But you guys can decide for yourselves what you think about that. But most importantly, I don't like the brutality that has been shown. The images that have been shown, it's horrific, it's tragic, and it's terrible.
Yeah, and it's one thing to go in and strategically take out the military and surround cities and so forth, but that's not what we're seeing. I just read the text messages of a Russian soldier back to his mom.
Yeah, I
and
saw
he's
that.
telling mom, hey, they told us that we were coming for training. And this is horrible. We're killing civilians.
Yeah.
And so we've got people on both sides that are hating this, but you do not disobey your command in the Russian army.
Right. That'd be pretty bad, young brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're just seeing, anytime it has to do with kids, man, it just really hits my heart. And we're seeing
war can get very ugly, and to be quite honest with it, in the spectrum of war, we can say, or like, what is that, the Geneva Conventions, what we're going to put in place, but as you can see, we can all sit here and agree with it, but when war comes, when Mad Day comes, as we say in Louisiana, you can see a lot of bets are off, so I mean, there's no guarantees with this. You would think that people would try not to be so barbaric, or come back to their more primitive size, but you can see the dangers here of tyranny and communistic behaviors, and so I would urge a lot of our viewers, and if you're watching us for the first time, thanks for that, to strongly consider and really take a look at some of the images that you're seeing. It's a hard look, but you should do that and understand why America has the Second Amendment to begin with. In case our government ever became tyrannical or under the threat of invasion. That's why a lot of countries won't even try to dare to invade us, because they're like, the military. After we get done with the military, every street, every corner, these people, they got AK-47s and AR-50. They got 50 Barrett, 50 BMGs.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? So
I am so proud of the Ukrainians right now, because they don't have that Second Amendment that we do. So a lot of these people have never shot a gun before, but they love their country and their families and their neighbors so much that they're willing to put their lives on the line. And the military is handing out AKs as fast as they can hand them.
Oh yeah.
But they're also having to teach these people the basics of shooting. What end to point forward, dang near.
Right.
And that's horrible. That's what makes me so proud of America and the Second Amendment, is that
that's why we fight so hard to keep it.
Yes, and why we train, and why you need to train.
That's
because I pray all the time that God would keep his hand on our country, but I feel us slipping away. We've got politicians that are trying to take our rights away with every step that they take.
And you have corruption there, and in Ukraine's favor too. I'm a bit tough sometimes, but in Ukraine's, to try to be subjective on them, they tried to join NATO and stuff like that, but they were corrupt. And Joe Biden was like, hey, you can't join now because you're too corrupt. So, I'll even come down there and help y'all. And what does he do? That's when you got, his son Hunter Biden, down there with the laptops and all that. And they just raking in on the corruption, and never, So that's where all the Hunter Biden all came into to the mix. So
now, where are the Bidens going to launder their money now, though? That's my question.
I have no idea, but guys, it's really sad. But they did make an effort for it. But that's what happens when you vote to get rid of your weapons. There's movies out there that kind of help you with that, like Red Dawn and the second Red Dawn. Like these things, like everybody has this preconceived notion or misconception that, we're America. We can't be touched. They'll never come over here. And no, Russia has more nukes than us.
And threatening with them
and
now.
threatening, yeah. So,
Yep.
you know, I think a lot of his right now, early on, that's political theater. But he does have them at his disposal. You know, China has a ton of nukes too. I mean,
we don't even know how much.
Right, and their military, the sheer numbers that they have. I mean, so, you know, you guys have to really consider that. But you know, we sit here so relaxed, like in a lazy boy. It'll never happen to us, you know.
Yep.
And
if y'all can hear, we got gunshots going on, people having fun over there at the range and practicing up, and we don't even flinch. But
No.
imagine that now. That's people 2 blocks away being executed.
Yeah.
And missiles and rockets and mortars going off all over in the middle
tank
of
rounds.
middle of your city.
Did you see that rocket strike on that government building?
That one I don't
Precision?
think I did see,
I'll
but
show you.
I've seen a bunch of different ones. You
I
know,
think
they're-
over like 70 people killed in a government building. I'll
Oh,
have to show you that.
they just launched them and blew up. We still don't know how many people in that town square.
Yeah.
Um,
Took
no,
out
it's-
the radio and television tower with a rocket strike. So it gets crazy, guys. So, you know, we all can sit here and think that just because we sign papers and we all say we agreed, oh, we're not going to use this, we're not going to use that. You never know what kind of weaponry you'll be up against. You know, it could be biological, it could be thermonuclear. I mean, the list goes on. They poison water, all kinds of stuff. So, you know,
knock out the internet.
right? Oh yeah.
Here in San Antonio, we had about a week and a half of snow last year, and all that lovely green energy worked so well. No, it didn't work at all. So we were without power for a week, and we had people dying and losing their minds and not having internet service. People just freaked out. Those are minor things, you know. But no, when we're looking at full-on invasion, whether that's our government or somebody else's, it's a horrifying thing to think about. But us as Americans, we have to be prepared to not just protect ourselves, but our neighbors and our families. And I know I feel very strongly about that. I know you do too, Jay. That
Yeah, absolutely.
We've been given a task by God to protect the weak. And how do we do that if we're not prepared and not trained, or if we don't have firearms? What are we using? Slingshots against tanks? You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing, guys. Stay ready. You know, stay trained, and you know, always remember that this can happen here. It's happening. I mean, Pearl Harbor. I mean, in Hawaii. I mean, it will happen. Don't think that it can't. That, you know.
Our leadership is showing great weakness right now.
I agree. So
Putin saw that we were going to do nothing. Now China sees that we're doing nothing.
Right. You guys who probably don't know as much about politics, yeah, like I was saying earlier, we have Taiwan, which really kind of keeps China at bay. But guess what? Last year they were flying their planes over there. So guess what's coming? China's going to be on the way real soon here. You guys, so don't be shocked when you see them going in at Taiwan. As a matter of fact, the government officials are already saying they think China will go at Taiwan end of this year. That's what their intelligence is
I'd be
saying.
very surprised if it takes that long.
Yeah, me too. So, well, guys, I think the lesson of the day is that, you know, to really, really value your loved ones, your life, and really vote with purpose and keep yourselves educated so you don't give up your freedoms, you don't give up your guns and certain liberties. You don't give all that stuff up, because the forefathers here gave us that for a reason. God gave us that for a reason. So and when we allow those liberties and those freedoms and those laws to be taken from us, it's sad to say, but I can't hold my tongue anymore. I will not. This is the sad reality. This is it.
Yeah. And that, The First and Second Amendments are the
That's right. Right.
most paramount pinnacle of
right.
our civilization.
Yeah. Have you
and
seen
they're
what's
under
happened to?
attack.
Have you seen what's happened to any opposition to Mr. Putin? You go into jail, poison. Yeah.
You never see them again.
Yeah, and they disappear. So, sun's going down on us, guys. Man, we really appreciate you watching this one. We're gonna do some more behind the crosshair stuff on some sensitive topics. So if you care to like about these, please hit that like button, share, subscribe.
Give us all your comments and
Yeah.
hit that notification bell so
Yeah.
you make sure that you get to see these videos when we put them out. We're putting out regular content all the time. And be praying for Ukraine right now.
Absolutely.
And
Keep
be
them in
praying
your prayers.
and pray for our country too. That I'm never for sending our boys and girls anywhere, but when I'm seeing children getting killed, man, it's tough.
It's tough.
So pray for our military, pray for our leaders, and until then,
We love you, and we'll see you on the next one. God bless y'all.